Hello, this is Andy Odie with Live Sotheby's International Realty, and today I am here with Tina Irmakesen, and I am so happy to have you representing Aid Tanzania.org. A lot of people probably don't know about this organization, but I definitely think it's worthwhile sharing what you do and talk about the organization and actually some other really surprising gifts in how people can help in a simple way. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Andy. Well, thank you. I think your efforts to promote efforts in the community is just wonderful, and I appreciate your having me today.
Thank you. Well, happy to be here. So let's talk a couple things here first about the organization, how you got involved, first of all, and why you got involved.
Well, it's pretty simple, really. I happened to marry a Maasai man, which is a tribe in Kenya and Tanzania. And when I learned about the fact that girls were married off at a young age traditionally in his tribe and missed out on education, I thought that I really wanted to try to make an impact on girls' lives. And he and I decided to start Aid Tanzania in the U.S. And we went over to Tanzania in 2010, and we set up an NGO there. And we're involved in a women's enterprise program. So we have women that are making products at home in their mud huts, actually. And we then use the profits to sponsor girls to go to school, to go to secondary school.
I love that. I love the fact that this is a smaller organization, grassroots, that you started. But in so many ways, there's a bigger picture because, as many of us know, poverty, women all throughout the world, whether it's Tanzania or wherever, this is a problem. So it takes people like you to start these organizations, and also just the whole knowledge about what's out there, letting people know that there is a problem. And education, even here in America, is getting these children, girls, boys, in this case the girls, because that's a big problem, educated early by a certain age, really can help break the chain and then lead them to productive lives in the long run. And then that, again, snowballs, and it's a domino effect for generations to come.
That's right. And, you know, we've seen it even in the 13 years that we've been involved, and what we've seen is a lot of the girls that we sponsor for education, their mothers are illiterate and they don't even speak the national language. So they only speak their tribal language, which is Kima, and they're not speaking Kiswahili, which is the national language and the language of instruction for elementary school. So when Maasai kids are going to school, they're going to school in their second language. Their mother tongue is Kima, and then they're going and learning all their subjects in elementary school in Swahili. Then for secondary, they switch, and they have to learn in a third language, English. So can you imagine trying to study chemistry, physics, math in a third language? So these kids are really, challenged. And so it takes a lot of support to make sure that the girls get through school. It also takes a supportive environment, because
That's right.
when they get home from school, they're expected to help milk cows, to clean the house, to help cook, to collect firewood, to collect water for the family. And education isn't really put in the priority, but what we're finding is that families are coming to us asking for help. Please, can you help me educate my daughter?
That's great.
Because she's our last child, and we really need someone outside of the conservation area who's earning some money. So
that's terrific. Well, that already starts breaking the change. People have to want to see the change and contribute to it. So I love hearing that. And I know you have several success stories already, but share one with everyone so they have an idea of the impact.
Well, one of the greatest moments in the 9 years that I was over there working on the programming and all of that, we had our first group of girls graduate primary school, and they had the chance to enter a private boarding school. Some of them were getting sponsored by the school because their grades had been so good from our support, and then also we'd found sponsors for them. So what happened was there was a program that focused extensively on English skills for the girls. That was like a 3-month intensive program before school started. We didn't know about it.
Oh.
But there was an extra cost to it, and we didn't have the funds for it. So what happened, of the 7 girls, one of the girls' families went around and asked friends and family members if they could contribute, and they came up with what was at the time $80 to send them to boarding school for 3 months. 2 of the other girls were sponsored by the school. And then we got a knock on the gate, and one of the girls was there with her mother and said, "We have a problem. I would really like to go to this extensive program for 3 months, but we don't have the money." And she said, "So my mother would like to come and bead for you. And if you can pay the money forward, she will bead and pay back the money." So I said, "I love that." And we had a workshop with a bunkhouse. So she came and stayed in town for 3 weeks, and she made double the minimum monthly wage there. Went home with pocket money and paid her daughter's 3-month extensive program fees. And we were so thrilled by her wanting to contribute her earnings towards her daughter's education, and we called the other 3 remaining families and offered them the same opportunity, and they all took part.
Because beading is one of their main crafts over
Yes,
there, correct?
it's very traditional. Yeah.
And is that how this was born?
So some people may know us from the Minturn Market, because we participated and had a tent and sold things that we had brought back from Tanzania. We did that for about 4 years. And when we went over to Tanzania to live for 9 years, we were then able to focus on new products, production, training the women, bringing them to town. They live in a conservation area. If you could imagine, like Yellowstone National Park, they live in the middle of a conservation area where tourists come and the wildlife roams around, and they're able to graze their cows, goats, and sheep. So they're the only people that are permitted to live there. But they cannot farm there, and it's called the Ngorongoro Crater. And it's 2,300 square miles, and there's 2 secondary schools.
Wow.
So that was part of the reason that we felt we needed to help girls access schools outside the boundaries, because there aren't many opportunities to stay near home and go to school. So we look after them when they go to secondary school.
I love it. I love how you're breaking the cycle, and again, it comes down so many ways and so many times to the education early on, and breaking the chain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So let's talk about, or just at least see, right, some of these beautiful items. You can see this is a popular, right, Tanzanian
this is
jewelry.
Traditional jewelry that
jewelry.
they wear. And we brought some of these over during the Minturn Market years, and they were popular for wall hangings, but not many people were wearing them. So
they're a piece of art.
Yeah, they're a piece of art.
They are, literally, they're a piece of art.
And that's what got me on the track of how can we take their traditional skills and materials, which are bead and wire, and turn them into products that have a wider appeal.
I love it. I mean, they're so pretty. And again, the proceeds go towards this organization to help with the education of these girls.
So our Women's Enterprise Program has 400 women beading, and they get paid per piece. We pay for all of their training and transport, and we provide all the materials. And then all of the profit goes to the girls' education.
I love it.
So, yeah, well, thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing this. I'm happy to share it with everyone because I had no idea. So I love learning education in my own way about the world. So
Well,
thank you again, Tina.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.